All right. See what is happening here. Not sure if I'm live, but if I am, welcome everybody. Welcome to the show that never ends. Let's see if I'm live. I'm going to try to click stuff and do things. See if anybody comes into the chat and if I have a decent chat rate and if it looks decent at all. Oh, it looks pretty good to me. All right, guys. So my name is Steven, and I am not leaving Las Vegas. Big Sus is here. Alex C is here. Vegas Mooch was first, but he was really third. But don't tell him that. Oh, my goodness. I forgot something important. I'll be right back. That's a good way to start a stream, ain't it? Anyways. Yes, I'm here, you're here, we're all here. Anyways, wow, there's so many people in the chat right now. It's just insanity, off the walls, off the rails. Good action. Hey, we got our stimulus in the mail today. Took us long enough, and then I was like, oh, I guess they forgot yours, because I saw my name. But it's for both of us, so there's that. So we got a little piece of Uncle Sam's scraps. Anyways, how is my... Yes, I did forget my mask. Nadig Maghinai. I can't say it right, man. I'm sorry. Or my friend. My friend. I'll just say my friend. We'll just be general like that. Streak on Steven. Steak on Steven. I don't know about that. So hopefully I am live. I paused this video. I thought maybe it was like, oh no, look at me. I'm buffering like crazy again, but it looks like I'm okay. So if I'm all the way live, yep, I'm live and I'm in charge. Okay. So yeah, we did forget our mask. I'm going to wear my VegasFaceMask.com. That's our quote unquote sponsor. Steve D is in the house. Logan's here. Patricia is here. Yo, what's up? Ari says, thanks for the snow video. Really cool to see more of Vegas. Yes, absolutely. We posted a video today. It was a hard video to film, well, to edit, because I edited it. It's an HDR video shot on an iPhone 12 Pro Max. iPhone 12 Pro Max. Who do you think the first 5-word phone is going to be? Live action. Yes, absolutely. Looked cold in Vegas. Well, I got the weather widget up there so you guys can see. How do you like the new backdrop? Kind of taking a page from some streamers that I watch. I thought I would do something different. I was thinking of starting a Twitch account, and you can simulcast these, but I don't know if my connection will hang up, and I don't think that there's any Vegas bloggers on Twitch. I don't know. Lots of people go on Twitch that are on YouTube. Was wanting to go at the end of February, R. Lewis says. Greetings from Seattle. Absolutely. Georgina May is here. Joseph Drake. Wow, Joseph, I haven't seen you forever. Thank you so much. Billy Bob says, my gift should be shipped for tomorrow. Wow. If you guys don't know this, and all of my regular videos, not these live streams, I don't think, it puts my my address. I have a P.O. box. So if you guys wanted to send me something, that's cool. And if you want me to open it on the channel, just tell me, and I'll open it on the channel. I'll be very surprised. I'll do a stream, and I'll open it live on stream or in a video somewhere. So is Vegas the safest or the most dangerous COVID city in America? That's the question. You could either say one of two things, okay? I have some theories on that. Hopefully you have some theories on that too. So we'll talk about that when people filter into the chat. Intel Wild is here. Very good. Intel Wild. Don't feel bad if Steve D didn't say hi to you. There's 131 people in this chat. There might even be more. 127, 130. It must be cold out there. It was cold today. 38 degrees. It's a high of wow, look at that. My don't bring green things in front of a green screen, because then they just they float in front of your head. My face is see-through. Oh, very nice. Yeah, it was cold today. We don't usually get cold weather. We get it once or twice a year, possibly. But usually it's sunny and nice during the day, and that sun warms the day up. Today was gloomy for the whole day. Is M&M's World open? Do they allow the self-service at the M&M wall? Asking for a friend. M&M's is open. Not sure about the self-service at the M&M's place. I would imagine no. They might do it for you. Possibly they have an attendant that does it, but I know they have that giant wall of M&Ms at the M&M store. It's pretty amazing. Ozzy O is here, says aloha everybody. Invisible food like Peter Pan. Yes, they're censoring Peter Pan. Disney has come out with 4 films that they're censoring. Obvious ones like Dumbo, but Peter Pan is one of them. They said that it's negative stereotypes with pirates. So I don't understand, but it's not my place. Carrie Robb went there in late December, wore a mask, saw some people with a mask, some people without, 3 different flights, COVID-free. Vegas is pretty safe, Carrie says. Yeah, I'm wearing, I got my mask. This is a Marvel Comics deal right here. I had to pick something without green in it, obviously. We just got this one in. I just posted it up, actually. It's Marvel with color in it. And it's classic Marvel. It's when they were 2 cents, 2 pennies for a comic book. These are from VegasFaceMask.com. You can see that below the event box on the screen right there. And I did not donate $56 to myself. I just tested my widgets. And and when I test my widgets, it makes a fake subscriber and it makes a fake member. You can see them there. They're fake. I'm a member now. And it makes a fake donation, which I guess is there's a link for Streamlabs that bypasses YouTube and doesn't rob the streamer. And there's a fake super chat. So no, I didn't actually do all those things. None of those things happened. But if any of them, you do them, if you subscribe, it should show up right there. And if you did a super chat, it would show up right there. Thanks for the chat tonight, Stephen. Joey says, thank you for being here, Joey. Let's see here. Vegas is the best right now. I have been 3 times in the past 4 months. Brian, you are a regular here in town. Let's see here. We're not going political, so Mr. P, you don't have a username, so you managed to trick the system. But Mr. P, we're not going political. I was in Vegas in August and planning a trip for February. I felt safe before, and I will again. Very good. Cracking up, you also have a mask behind your neck. Oh, dude, I totally do. I do that sometimes. So the benefit of these masks is that you're never going to have a problem with losing them because they go around your neck. And then so I can just put this up. Nobody knows I'm wearing it. It is in the back. So this is the black magic. That's pretty funny. I've done this. I've slept in these things by accident before. And I'm not some like mask zealot. I don't, nobody likes wearing them. The wife makes them. They're handmade right here. She don't like wearing them.
I'm having trouble hearing you.
Stop it. My watch is talking to me. I guess it thought I was talking to Siri. Hey, Siri, go away. And now it's not listening to me. As the vaccine rates go up, Vegas numbers will sink faster than anywhere else. Our numbers are already sinking, as a matter of fact. We had a peak of like 3,500 cases a day just a few weeks ago. And now we had 900 cases yesterday and a little under 1,000, or maybe it was exactly a day. So that was today. So at the same time, this just gives our governor, the Right Honorable Steve Sisolak, I guess that's what you have to call him, that just gives him fodder to say, see, the 25% stay at home is what it is. And we recently know a business who sold out to a dispensary, and he was open for 26 years. And it's like, well, they must have offered him a hell of a lot of money. I doubt it. What I think is happening is a lot of restaurants are looking at it going, oh, Jeffrey, thank you, Jeffrey Schreiber. Jeffrey Schreiber. Is that right, Jeffrey Schreiber? Did you really do that? Thank you so much, Jeffrey Schreiber. I really appreciate you if that's what's showing up correctly on that, or it's just a test. Not sure, Jeffrey. Speak up. But what I think is happening is while he will take credit for all of these things happening, the 25% is making all of it better. He's killing off small businesses, and that's a main problem. Is it safer? Possibly. 25% capacity is what we're sitting at right now. We can't do anything. If it's 25% capacity, you can't go into a restaurant without making a reservation. Even if the restaurant's dead, you still need one, apparently. It's really, really tough for businesses. We saw one, again, it became a dispensary. Thank you so much, Jersey T. Appreciate you very much. And I suspect that's because these restaurants and these businesses are looking at the idea that they could sell out their building, to another property, to another company, and they can get out of the game entirely. And a 26-year restaurant was gone. Oh, my God, Jeffrey. Okay, Jeffrey's been a member for 4 months, and Jersey T is in the house, and thank you, guys. I don't monetize these live streams like I do my regular videos. They're always monetization free. That way, insofar as doing that that way you guys don't have to watch little ads all the time, because YouTube goes ballistic with these live streams. They're an hour long in most cases, and they just like put ads every 3 minutes. It's stupid. It's a bug in the system. I can't help it. But I will tell you this. I thought member 4X4 was level 4. I do have a local loss vegan level 4. And I have the ultimate, which means that you get to direct a video. You get to tell me what to do a video every month. I only have 4 spots for that because it was only 4 weeks in a month. So if you're on that tier, but nobody is, it's an expensive thing, because if you want to tell me to do a certain video topic, I will do it as long as it's YouTube friendly. There is that option for you too. So who else is in the house? Brian is hungry. I ate dinner, Brian. My wife made chicken stir fry and these amazing potatoes that I'm probably going to end up eating the rest of. But thank you so much. Brian is hungry. That is very nice of you. 237 thanks to him. Carol hates ads. We all hate the ads. YouTube is a platform. If I didn't have to run them, I wouldn't have to run them, but I don't have a channel sponsor or anything like that. So, and then the Patreon is what it is. I screwed up the Patreon. I've been giving you guys more content. If you want to go see my Mirage Volcano 4K HDR high dynamic range video, it's there early, and I don't know when I'm launching it on the channel, so you can see it before anybody else. David Saldana, Stephen, thank you for today's snowing video. That's an example of a 4K HDR video. Sean Slack, haven't seen you in the chats for a while. Sean, I know you're always around. Thank you, Sean Slack. I think Sean is upset that the Packers lost. We're upset that the Packers lost. We have a friend of the channel, or 2 or 3 or 10 or 100. A lot of people from Wisconsin seem to watch me. So I was rooting for you guys. It was Aaron Rodgers versus Tom Brady. Laughlin is my most favorite casinos to gamble. I always win there. That's what Natianita says. Vegas Mooch says, funny how we had to shut down California due to 2,000 people in the ICU for COVID, but when we were well over 6,000 people currently in the ICU, the governor decides it's a good idea to finally lift statewide restrictions. Well, that sounds awfully political, and I'm not going there. Not that you're doing it on purpose, Vegas Mooch. I know you know the rules of the channel, but I think that would steer us into that direction. Any more tour videos, Steve? Ricky Tiki, we did one today. I want to do more tour videos. The wife and I want to, do a thing where we can go out to the strip, stay in a hotel. I can go around and film my thing. I do it generally by myself. She does not like walking up and down the strip. She's more of a sit at the bar and have fun kind of gal, and that's her thing. But we want to do those videos, but it's time versus money, and costs money to go into them. And time was that I'd be able to meet up with subscribers who have offered, and some of you I couldn't take you up on your offers. I have one more that it's the Bellagio. It's probably the worst room at the Bellagio, but you get the fountain view. And I have one more that I have to edit, and then I'm kind of out. And so if anybody has any discount codes or whatever, let me know, because we're going to start booking stuff. Let's see here. Let's see here. So we got Mickey D's Fries who asked a question, and I did not see the question. I don't know what the question was. And does anybody know if Slot Lady is dating? Okay, that's a different channel. More travel restrictions coming in Canada and the U.S. Red Pill Gary says it's possible for all the Canadians out there that you guys may be banned from leisure travel entirely. Or if you're not banned from leisure travel, you'll be subject to a 14-day dedicated mandatory quarantine in a hotel, in a community hotel. I could tell you about what the Philippines has going on. It's the worst travel you could ever experience. If you want to know what that's like, say yes in the chat. I will tell you about how that really works in that country, because it sounds like Canada might be sliding down to that if you just want to fly to the United States. I'm guessing not leaving Las Vegas Airlines is grounded, John. Good question. So here's the deal, right? I have a Mac with a terabyte hard drive, and I need to install Windows on it, which I can totally do. And so he's talking about the fact that I was playing Microsoft Rewind, Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 on Windows. It's only Windows. And so the airline is grounded for now because I have to install Windows. It's complicated. I don't have a fast enough solid state drive. Possibly if I buy a brand new one, it might work. I might work it all out for you guys. We might fly over Las Vegas again. They don't make that any software, essentially, that's a game for a Mac. The government wants people to start wearing Corona diapers. Everybody wants it. Yes. What do you guys care what the Philippines is like? So if you don't know this, my wife is from the Philippines, okay? I can't say where, but she's from the Philippines. I've been there several times. As a matter of fact, coming up one of these days on Patreon, I got a bunch of really old footage from years ago of me in the Philippines. You guys can see that. Also, YouTube channel members get that stuff too. So their country is basically shut down for the most part. If you're flying into the country, there's 19 countries you're not allowed to fly in from unless you're a citizen of the Philippines. So United States is one of them, Germany, I believe, South America, Great Britain, Denmark, anywhere the mutant strain is. But even if you were able to fly, this is what happens. So you get off the plane in the Philippines, you have to go pay at the airport. You wait in a big old lineup, and it's very distanced. And there you have to wear a face mask and a face shield for whatever reason. You get off, you wait in the line, you have to take a COVID test, and that's $150 cash out of pocket US dollars for you. Okay, and then you have to go to a government-sanctioned hotel. There's expensive hotels and there's cheap hotels. So your ticket to there is going to cost you maybe $1,200 one way if you're lucky, and you might have to stop over. It might be a ridiculous flight. Usually it's like a 17-hour trip. It might be like 30 or 40 if you don't have to stop over. You're lucky. Then you have to pay up to $100, if not more, per day for a nice hotel that the government sanctions. So you're looking at an extra $1,400. You can't leave your room even if you pass the COVID test. I believe you still have to stay in there because false positives and what have you. And then you have to go directly to where your destination was. And that's what it's like to fly over there. So Canadians, at least you guys look like you're not going to have to pay out of pocket if they do institute these new rules, which they were just talking about today because I read the Calgary Sun because I'm from Alberta, Canada, Calgary originally. But right now on the 26th, as of today, coming into the United States, from any country, you have to get a COVID test before you land. So you have to present a negative test before you end up in the United States, which means that if Canadians can't have access to them quickly, or for example, a friend of mine in the UK had a problem with somebody at work tested positive, so he had to get a test. He waited 8 days for his test. I've heard in London, in the UK, it can be faster. Here, I've had 2 COVID tests. I came up negative twice, so it's the best negative news of my whole life when those things happened. But and I truly, actually, 100% believe I had COVID. A question for the chat. Who here thinks they had COVID in the past and you didn't get a test, but you're sure you had it? Say yes in the chat if that's you. But here my first test came back to me in about 9 hours and the second test came back to me in 21 hours. Funalicious thinks they had it. Funalicious says yes. Red Pill Gary's convinced. Tom Heel says yes. Tom Jones Jr., yep. Skeeter, yep. Chaotic Rich says yes. JS says yes. My Lasina says I'm a doctor now. How am I a doctor? Not a doctor. Joel LQ says yes. Let's see here. Nick Q says possibly. Ms. Corey B, I haven't seen you in a while. Nice to see you here. Says not me, but my son for sure. Lynn B says yes. Margarita says yes last February. Yes, I've tested negative every time. Yeah, false negatives. I had it in July. Yes. Everybody seems to think they had it, and it's a possibility that you have. Somebody says, you're a doctor now? No, I read things. I'm not a doctor. They did this test in Massachusetts, and they went to a small town, and they tested like 1,000 people, and like 600 of them already had it. They had antibodies. They tested them for the antibodies. So they didn't think they had it. In 600 people, 60% had antibodies, just in one. So you can't extrapolate that to the United States, of course. It's not possible. Anyways, yeah, I'm sorry when you say, what, you think you're a doctor? Not at all. I just read a whole lot. And what y'all don't know is that, you guys know what I used to do for a living? I used to work in marketing on the Strip in Timeshare. So I was looking at this stuff in November and late October of last year, of 2019, going, oh my gosh, what are we up against? So I was learning about this stuff when people just heard that people had a bad flu bug in China, and it was nothing. Carol says he acts like one. I understand, Carol. I'm not trying to act like a doctor. If you guys think I'm acting like a doctor, we'll never talk about my opinion on this ever again. Enjoy your blogs from Illinois. Thank you so much, Renee, but I've never done a blog from Illinois, just from Las Vegas. I'm just kidding, Renee. I'm trying to sell bad jokes. COVID is just another name for the flu. By the way, I read a stat that said there's only been 26 officially recognized cases or something like that of flu in the entire country so far. It can't be right. I coughed so hard for 2 weeks in February, Michael says. Man, I'm sorry about that. Let's see here. They say antibodies only last 6 months. Billy Bob, nobody knows. That's the main deal. Nobody knows because we haven't had it around for that long. So nobody knows. Carol says, just kidding. I get it. I'm not a doctor, but I play one on TV. Renee hits me with $4.99. Thank you so much, Renee. That is very nice of you. RT Debbie loves slots. I do want to come back to Vegas sometime in the spring, but I would rather wait until April. March is going to be busy in Vegas because of spring breakers. Maybe. Also, maybe if they have any kind of basketball tournaments for NCAA March Madness. Let's see here. We're going to change the topic right now, though, and go back to our main one at hand, now that we've been live for a little bit, and ask this main subject of this video. Is Vegas the most safest or most dangerous city for COVID in the United States? And if you're going to say that, and I'm going to go off, I'm going to read, if you do a super chat, I'm going to get back to you, I'm going to address it. Okay, so you can chat along in the chat, but if you do a super chat, I will address you after this. We're going to talk for a little bit, okay? So just pretend this is my regular video, but I'm not really thinking it out, because why bother to come to class prepared? That's for suckers. So if you want to say yes or no, you say yes, it's going to be most dangerous versus least dangerous. Let's say you say it's the most dangerous city in the entire country right now. I guess you're basing that upon the fact that you have, hundreds of thousands of people all over the world coming in to Vegas, or all over the world, all over the country, coming into Vegas, bringing their possible asymptomatic selves into town, and all conglomerating and standing in front of the Bellagio, and maybe this thing is aerosolized, and maybe we have a huge problem with it, and oh my gosh, how can they clean everything? And then you could also go on the other extreme. And I've said for a while, Vegas Strip is one of the most locked down states, police states in the entire country for a while too, because when it comes to like you being on camera and everybody watching over you, that's something that you're going to get on the Las Vegas Strip. And also when it comes to COVID preparedness, that's something you're going to get too. Every casino is paranoid right now. They don't want big events coming through their doors. They are not advertising Super Bowl gatherings right now because they don't want to be accused in the public eye of promoting something that brings a big crowd. Super Bowl is generally the biggest event in the entire city until, coming up into CES, Super Bowl, and then the Cowboys. And those are huge events coming through the city. So they don't want to even promote that. So what do? They clean religiously. They sanitize everything. They have face masks everywhere. Everywhere you look, every 50 feet or so, there's a hand sanitizer somewhere. People are checking temperatures going in. And you can carry COVID and not have a temperature. But at the same time, they're monitoring. They're the eyes in the sky. The Plaza Hotel downtown, they installed a special system that I have to cover here on the channel. I was maybe going to talk to the CEO of the Plaza, but maybe after Super Bowl we'll connect again. We're supposed to do a podcast on his end and a video on my end. But it was they have a system that is made to look for gang-style violence before it even happens, and coronavirus symptoms, all using cameras and temperature scanners and little sensors that you can't even see. So it could be argued either which way. I would argue with the fact that as long as people are coming here and they're masking up and they're washing their hands and they're not touching their face and they're not breathing on each other excessively, and we are at 25% capacity at bars and restaurants, which means that everybody is very spaced out, unless people are breaking the rules, like we saw in the last live stream where I looked at the venue and I said 159 capacity, huh? What happened to 50? Government says 50, you say it's 159 max capacity. That's breaking the rules. You stay away from those situations and use your common sense, you're probably fine. Then again, as I've always told you, because right now they're going, this guy's telling people to come to Vegas. Quick, report him. I'm not telling you to come to Vegas. I'm telling you that if you're planning a trip, use your common sense. If you go home to somebody who is basically a care worker, they work with older folks, or they are at risk because they are an older folks themselves, don't come to Vegas. Why would you even do that? You could go back home sick. Use your common sense, man. But if you've been planning to come here forever, there's nowhere else to go, and you come to Vegas, just be good, be sensible in your mind. But I'm interested in what you guys have to say right there. Let's see if we got Renee. Thank you so much, Renee. I appreciate you very much. My 32-year-old daughter tested positive but had no symptoms. She and her family quarantined for 2 weeks. There is something else that's coming out about that, just so you guys know. It's the CDC recommendation. Oh, but you probably don't want to know why this will probably drop the positive test rate tremendously. Or maybe you do. Do you guys want to know why the test positives will drop precipitously? Say yes in the chat, because this came out last week, but nobody covered it. Say yes in the chat if you want to know the new way they're suggesting we do positive tests. Or say no, I don't care. Are all the elevators monitored by security or free for all? That's the thing. I have seen so many people taking the stairs, man. I parked at the Bellagio just the other day, and I walked up and down those stairs from the 4th level, and I saw lots of little urban adventurers all deciding to climb the stairs. Elevators are dead right now for the most part. We got a lot of yeses. So I saw this. I read the article. My mouth was aghast. I couldn't believe it. The CDC is recommending that because of the 60% false positive tests or false negative results and false positive results, that if a person is asymptomatic, meaning they don't have symptoms but they've been exposed, and they test positive for a test, you don't count them as a positive yet. They have to test positive a second time for it to count as a positive test. Yeah, so get that. Let's wrap our heads around that again. I'm at work. Somebody's sick. They're really obviously sick. They shouldn't have come into the office. Darn them, they did. They go and they get tested. They're positive. I go get tested just because I want to make sure. I get the test. I'm positive. That doesn't count anymore. I have to get a second positive test. Can you believe it? I believe it. Stairs are fake, Bo Nobly says. I don't know about that, Bo. It seemed pretty real to me, especially when I huff and puff up and down them. Steve-O says you have to qualify to get a test here. That sucks, Steve-O. I don't know where you are, but out here it's just for free. Steven, love you, but this is the biggest hoax ever, James Lane says. That's a matter of opinion, man. I mean, you're entitled to it. But that's what they're doing, you know. Did you used to be in timeshare sales by a chance? Dong Fang says, never sold inside timeshare. I worked as a marketer and promoter on the Strip in Las Vegas for a very long time. Feel very safe in Vegas. Been 5 times since June, coming back to the end of February. Casinos do their best to keep people safe. June, but I believe you also told me some weird stuff that they were doing with coins and stuff like that. You know, casinos have been weird lately. Vegas, Wall Street is the real Vegas right now. Faster money than ever has been. Yeah, Otto, you're correct. The Wall Street, the bull market is still going. They're waiting for it to become a bear. I don't know. I take the stairs to the 60th floor. Con I am says, you know, they do, and you can take the stairs all the way up to the top of the stratosphere. I think they do a drill like that once a year. I'm proud to say I've never bought a timeshare. Before and after YouTube, Dong asks if I was in that business. Way before, and then about a year into my YouTube journey, and then COVID plus a bunch of other circumstances took me out of the game. Joseph F. asks if the mafia is still in Las Vegas. Just the corporate mafia. No, but I'm sure there is organized crime here, but you can't see it. You don't hear anything about it. People aren't like, oh my gosh, did you hear they arrested that big mob associate? Nothing like that. How does Tahoe compare in COVID rates to Vegas? California so Tahoe sits on the border of California and Nevada. It's important to remember that. So State Line, Nevada is where the actual casinos are in Tahoe, and then there's a little rural called State Line because it's on the state line. I don't know what the rates are in Tahoe. It's a small town. There's only 62,000 people there. Most people in Tahoe either work from home to start with. A lot of them actually don't even, they go and retire in Tahoe. A lot of retirees up there. But I don't imagine the rates are much worse. I mean, Vegas is a much bigger city, 2 million people in our metropolitan area. So I can't say what they really are, but I know that if you look at the entire state, let's say we had 1,000 cases, there's a good chance that 800 of them come from here. The other majority come from a place like Reno, and then the rest of them come from the rural areas, which is not really state line because there's hardly any people over there. I have a timeshare, Ruben says, in Vegas, and I love it. I'm in Vegas at least 5 times a year. It works for some people. It doesn't work for other people. Stephen, this may be an odd request. However, could you go to the Circa and pick up some $1 chips and ship them to me next time you're downtown? Dong, there's a chance I'll be down at Circa on Thursday for some filming with Richard Wilk. There's a chance I might do a live stream with Richard Wilk on Thursday. There's a chance that I will probably forget, Dong. I don't know. Why don't you email me, stephenj@notleavinglasvegas.com. stephenj@notleavinglasvegas.com. Send me an email. I'll see what I can do. I know it's short notice. Tomorrow's Wednesday already. Yeah, see here. Eddie says, we'll never be the same again. I worked at entertainment, and there's no say of opening, but Bike Week in Daytona, Florida is a go live bands. You know, they're going to have 22,000 people at the Super Bowl in a few weeks. 22,000, of which 7,500 are healthcare workers that got free tickets, which I think is pretty cool. Steve is still the guru of Vegas. I try my best to be the guru. Got to be a guru of something. Just don't be a guru like Mike Myers was in the movie The Love Guru, because nobody liked that. Is the Virgin opening? It'll open. I imagine the Virgin opens this fall. That's my bold prediction. The reason the USA has so many cases they are rising is because people don't believe it's real. They refuse to wear masks and refuse to stay away from people. Other countries follow the guidelines. Okay. Sure. Okay. I guess. But there's other reasons too. I mean, there's a whole politicization of coronavirus out here. When Trump was president, he basically told the hospitals that if you get coronavirus cases, we will pay for it if the patient is uninsured. So you guys don't want to hear about that, do you? You guys want to hear about my theory on why there are so many cases in this country? Say yes in the chat or say no. If you don't want to hear that stuff, we can completely take ourselves off there and talk about the circus or something like that. Say yes or no or no. I believe, man, look at that. Oh man, I really did a hornet's nest here. Oh boy, we got a lot of yeses. I'll just be short with it, and it's not I'm not gonna politicize. I'm not gonna say one guy is better than the other because that's not what I'm here to do. Besides, the votes are in, and we had an election, so that's over anyhow. So, just let me grab something real fast here. I keep stepping on a pen, and I don't want to shatter it. All right, so here's the deal. Love him or hate him, the past president said something. He said in a press conference he said, because we want to make sure that people who are possibly sick can get the health care they need and not be afraid of going to the doctor, we're going to make sure that if a hospital stay is COVID related, we're going to be giving you reimbursement from the federal government. So if a person shows up, guess what the hospitals are doing? So this is predating any president that you've, in the last, 15, 20 years. We have a problem with hospitals not getting paid in this country because we have a problem with healthcare insurance costing too much in this country. So we have a problem that COVID kind of solves for the hospitals. But in America, you're never going to die on the street. That's what's so great about this place. Regardless of who's the man in the White House, you're still going to get the healthcare if you go to the hospital. They'll just bill you and you may never pay it. And if you don't pay it, whatever, right? It's your credit, but you're still not going to die. But that means the hospitals render services that they don't get paid for. Okay, so this is an opportunity for hospitals to get paid. So I believe that in a lot of cases where we have a lot of COVID deaths in the United States, it's been proven in other places like Colorado where a man had 3 times the lethal blood alcohol in his system, but he also had coronavirus. The coroner chalked him up to death by alcohol poisoning, and then the state turned him into a COVID death. Well, he didn't die from COVID. So I think it's very, very murky, and there's a fine line in between what people are actually dying from. For example, in the state of Nevada, where I am sitting right now as I talk to you, and yes, I really am in Las Vegas. Some people think I'm just in front of a green screen and doing this remotely from another state or province. No. In the state where I'm at, in Nevada, 28 days. So let's say on the first of the month, you had COVID and you were tested positive, and then 27 days later, you died of a natural thing. You didn't get into a car crash. You didn't, have some industrial accident. 27 days later, if you die, you're still counted as a COVID death, even though you could have done a negative test 14 days and 21 days later and tested negative both times. The state here is still counting you as a COVID death, even though you had 2 negative tests after testing positive, but it was within a 28-day frame. So it's really complicated, isn't it? Why are they doing this? I don't know. Some people on one side will say that they're trying to control the narrative. People on the other side are saying that it's the worst thing in the world, and I'm stuck here in the middle with you. And I don't know what it is I should do. Anyways, there you go. The reason why this virus got so out of hand in the first place, they never handled it right. Nobody did, man. And you know what? Canadians sitting there going, see, I knew it. He's admitting the healthcare. I don't even want to tell you this next part, and then we're going to get off COVID. The Canadian government knew about all their soldiers that went to China to do a military practice coming back, and 2/3 of the entire battalion got so damn sick on the way back. They were coughing up blood. They had every COVID symptom in the planet in October of 2019, and they refused to swab them. And then a year later, 2 days before the first official COVID test was actually put forth in Canada, it was a patient in Toronto on January 23rd of 2019. 2020, January 23rd. 2 days before that, the governor, Surgeon General of Canada, I think it's called, he put out a report admitting that this was a big problem and that they didn't do anything because they didn't want to make China upset. So there's that. Could Canada have saved the world? Maybe. Lance Stab says, you are so spot on, Stephen, with this COVID blank. Let's just keep it about Vegas. Vegas is great. It is a great place. So I bet you most Canadians didn't know that. Yeah, they knew about something happening in October of 2019. Italy also had a major problem with their soldiers getting sick, but they had to quarantine 2/3 of the entire plane coming back to Canada afterwards. And then these guys were not swabbed, they were not tested, they were not identified, but they knew it was a major problem that originated from a military practice that happened in China. And they had all the COVID symptoms, and they didn't tell anybody. They didn't send swab samples to the CDC in the United States, where we're supposed to be the closest ally, and it breaks my heart to think of it. Good evening, Stephen. Good evening, friends in chat. Vegas to Cali says, okay, what does government gain with $15 minimum wage? They collect more taxes. It's possible. I don't know anything about that. Did not know that as a Canadian. Of course you didn't, DB Dad. Of course you didn't, because we'd rather talk about U.S. politics in Canada, most of it. And that's true. And Canada talks about U.S. politics a lot more than Canadian politics. And, and there's a lot of bigger fish to fry in Canada. And I'm aware that I rock back and forth when I talk to you. I don't know why that is. Is Vegas packed or empty? Lila, got me on my knees, Lila. Or it could be Laya. It could be Hispanic. I don't know. Is it packed? On the weekends, it's packed. I say it's packed. Super Bowl will be off the chain to the point where the casinos are refusing to even promote that they're doing anything for these deals. Most people don't want to promote things. The reason why I don't do a meetup with 50 people in a venue, which I probably could manage to do if I gave it enough time and people actually came here, is that I would be in big trouble because people would say, look at him. He's breaking the rules, you rule breaker. Well, no, I'm not breaking the rules. I'm within the government. But if one person got sick, it would reflect poorly on me. So they don't want to do those things. So that's how busy it has been. Stephen, you are so spot on. I hope others do get it. Now, I know what you mean, Steve. Not get it, but understand it, right? Okay. Thank you so much, Steve Zwirling. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, guys, for the support. You'll go viral if you make TikTok account and make videos on interesting Vegas facts. Sniper Katie says, dang, Sniper Katie, you're just like, pew, right on with that sniper. Probably, maybe, who knows? I don't know how TikTok works. Maybe my presentation style doesn't work for TikTok. I have no background in presenting stuff. I just kind of talk. And I have a TikTok account. Can I even find it? I don't even know. Did it even transfer over? Do I even have a TikTok app? I don't know if it's saved in my passwords on my Mac side of things. Can you even go to TikTok on a computer? Does that even happen? Does TikTok say, hey, stupid, this is a phone application? There it is. Click on login. Oh, man, how did I work this deal? Log in with a username phone. Oh, look at that. I used a phone number. Okay, so I know I have a TikTok account. Just type in not leaving Las Vegas or search for it. If you can't even do that, I don't even know. Did Mandalay Bay ever consider rebrand name change after tragedy? No, they didn't, actually. They did not do that. Mandalay Bay is one of the marquee brands, I believe, which is, I mean, maybe they did. Maybe they had behind closed door meetings where they thought of changing the name of the casino, but I don't know. I mean, that would seem like a cowardly thing to do, I guess. Some casinos sold out for Super Bowl. Yes, I know Circus sold out, so packed. They don't want to mention it to anybody. They didn't advertise it anywhere. They're being responsible. Laya, I don't know how you pronounce it, but Alien Music. Maybe you guys want to go check out that channel. Let's see if I can click on the person's name. I cannot click on your name, Laya. I don't know how to say it. I'm so sorry. I feel terrible. TikTok is hypnotic. I lose a few hours every time. TikTok actually originated out of a guy who got his first computer when he was like 13 years old. He was in China. His family was considered wealthy elites. And he started making an app because he was trying to buy a train ticket in China, and he couldn't buy a train ticket no matter what he tried to do. So he started learning how to code, and one of his first coding projects that he did for his personal reason was to find out when the train tickets were available because they'd always sell out. And then he was trying to make a newsfeed app that would just conglomerate things that he thought was interesting in his news, other users and himself would think was interesting in his newsfeed. So the idea of TikTok's suggestion system, it's so different than YouTube. You can't really search for specific topics. You can search for hashtags, and then it kind of trains itself as to what you like using artificial intelligence. The story of TikTok versus Instagram is really interesting. There's a podcast called Business Wars that you might want to check out. It's really good. And I hope I'm not burping into the mic. And I can't believe that the Golden Knights have tied the game up. They have been playing on their heels the whole night. Go Knights, go. Let's see here. Didn't Mandalay close the entire floor? I assume they would have had to have, but they haven't closed it entirely. I don't think you can get that suite anymore. It was a high roller suite. They would lose a lot of revenue by closing the whole floor. But they must have closed it for a period because they were doing a massive, huge mass murder investigation. What if TikTok gets banned? I don't think TikTok will get banned, especially with the current administration. TikTok should have been banned for the reasons they had before, because TikTok was harvesting information, and it was a foreign ownership company, and there was some weird things about the code in TikTok. You can look up a channel called Some Ordinary Gamers on YouTube. He's a Indian Canadian guy, so his parents are from the continent or the country of India. It's not a continent. I'm aware it's part of Asia. Stupid, Steven. Just kidding. But he's a super smart guy, and he goes over what TikTok could do on your phone. And it's just, before they changed hands and they got their privacy down, TikTok could download a file on an Android phone and run a package on your phone and unzip it and run software without you knowing it's doing it in the background. Scary stuff. Scary stuff. Hey, Steven, question for you. That mask, they say you need filters now. Mention of K95 masks. Do you use filters if you do not feel safe with or without filters? I don't use filters. You could use K95. I believe K95, though, is not as good as N95. If you don't know the difference between mask filters, K95 filters are not guaranteed like N95 are. They're not made to the same standards. N95 masks are generally made in the United States by 3M Corporation. K95 are similar, but they're made in China, so there's no real... K95 doesn't have any real product quality control. That's the problem with K95 masks. You can get them super cheap. Fry's Electronics is dying on the vine, but they sell personal protective gear like nobody else's business, and they sell K95 masks for nothing. As for filters, these are actually double-sided. Like, there's two things here. So this has two different. So essentially, let me show you this real fast. If you guys are interested in this stuff, try not to really show this on camera too much, because it's kind of my wife's design, but there's two separate pieces of fabric in this. So you have two pieces, and there's actually a buffer in between. So that actually opens up that way. So that's what that is. That would be bad for those of all TikTokers. It would be. There's some big celebrities on TikTok, and I don't even know if they get paid or if they monetize things. I think a lot of them do sponsorships and stuff like that. I don't know. I'm not sure. Let's see here. Go to vegasfacemask.com instead. You could do that if you wanted to. You can order. They're 2 for $25, and they're absolutely great masks. I think there's like 70 or 80 different patterns you can order now. We even have like licensed stuff that you can't pay for, but you buy one at $25, you get one for free. My doc just gave me a ridiculously large mask, but oh well. La Signa, that's interesting. I didn't know. Why is it so big? I'm not sure. TJM Voyager was saying of thinking of buying some. Well, that'd be great. The wife makes them. And if you're on Facebook, you can just type vegasfacemask.com, like you're typing in a web address, and you'll be talking to her if you have any questions. We are going to be wearing masks for 2 to 3 years, W. Warden says. I mean, I would like to see the restaurant industry have all of their servers masked up from here on in. I mean, if anything, because now you're thinking about just getting regular, bugs. And what if the next thing comes along? What if COVID-23 comes along? I don't know. But I don't want to wear them forever. Neither do you, and I don't blame you. I won $10 when I went to Vegas. I used it for gas. Ricky Tiki, you were the smart one. You cashed out. Hopefully you didn't lose 100 to win 10. What was proven to be true about TikTok? Why would they still be allowed to operate here? Well, okay, so what the Trump administration did with, by the way, it's not just him. It was other countries. India banned TikTok for a completely different reason, because they're having a conflict with China right now. They banned a bunch of Chinese apps, but other countries have been looking into TikTok. What they did was they basically are trying to force the ownership to be American. So end of overtime. Looks like the Knights got a point out of this one. That's very good. Knights outshot the Blues 46-25. Why didn't I watch this game? I'm such a fool to be streaming here when there's a good game going on. So what they did was they forced ownership to be American. And so then your data will be held by an American company, which obviously we have. Let's be honest. We're on YouTube right now, and Facebook is no better. I gave up WhatsApp Messenger. I use Signal now. But it's at least a little bit more less concerning than thinking that your son or daughter's information and what they like and what they dislike is going over to a company that has a giant iron curtain around them and you can't see into it. Caroline's masks are superbly constructed. Regular washing keeps them fresh. Shadow says, yeah, you just hand wash, antibacterial soap, line dry, you're good to go. I just listened to music on your channel. You have amazing music. Well, thank you, Melissa Hill. I use a service called Epidemic Sound. I know it's an unfortunate name these days, but they've been around forever. As long as I pay $14.99 forever, I can use that music without copyright strikes. Can make a time lapse of Caroline making a mask, John Ryan says. Well, yes and no, but again, we just don't want people to know how she makes them because she does such a superb job with the beads and everything like that. So yeah, I mean, I can maybe ask her, but she probably won't be down with that because most masks are just really inferior. They're just crap. They are, quite frankly. Maybe you're buying something that was made in Mexico for $1 and now it's $5, so they make a markup. Are people moving out of Vegas? No. People are moving into Vegas. You can't get a house here. The inventory is incredibly low. So apparently, Lila Alien Music is a great channel. You should go to that channel, Melissa Hill says. And if Melissa Hill says so, probably a good deal. Jim West is here, says, evening, Stephen. Evening, Jim West. Don't show the details of the mask. Show the rest. I can show you some photos and some videos. We actually have one. I posted it up on the VegasFaceMask.com channel. I try not to post too much mask stuff here. There's a lot of people that get a lot of backlash. I just rented a renovated one-bedroom house in Summerlin for $1,200. You're in a good area, Sniper Katie. It's a very good area. Not a lot of crime. Nice area. Lots of services right in the area. Vegas lost in a shootout. Well, that's okay. We still got a point. That's what matters the most. Every point counts. Evening, Stephen. Just wondering what you think about Coco Scope. They seem to be the next YouTube venue that lets you upload 4K videos. I'll check it out. Somebody said I should go on Rumble. I looked at Rumble. Rumble forces you to pay just to upload videos. And I thought, why? I mean, I have a free venue in front of me that has a massive global audience. Let's see if I got Coco Scope going on here. Coco Scope is a video hosting platform that allows all creators to make money right away and host their videos for free with no limitations. Spread the word. There you go. Browse creators. Let's type in, I can type in Las Vegas and see if there's any Vegas content on Coco Scope for you guys. Best of Cameo Dave. Okay. Then there's a Spanish channel, but it's not Vegas related. There's one YouTube guy and a bunch of fashion YouTubers. Might be interesting. You know, get you in on the bottom level, in the beta level. What will you think will happen this year with the vaccine? Ricky Ticky says, well, if it has a very high efficacy and it does work at 95%, whatever they say, I think a lot of people will take it. A lot of people will think they're bulletproof and will have slowed spread, and then things will open up. Can we get to 200 likes? That would be nice if we could. Have a good night, everyone. Great discussion. Stephen, Vegas to Cali says, good night, Vegas to Cali. You guys say good night to Vegas to Cali. That would be nice. Hey, Stephen, which Cirque shows did you enjoy watching? I liked Ka. I haven't seen any others. My wife saw Zumanity. She thought it was kind of boring, but it's just because it's very artistic and she likes action. Ka was fun. Ka's a good one. I've always wanted to see the Beatles Love. That'll be the first we go to once it opens. How did you meet Caroline? Sniper Katie says, oh, it's a long, complicated story. We had a duel. Him and the other guy and me, and I won the duel. Nah, I got to keep some things close to the vest. Some things are for the Patreon. Some things are for that, not for this. But thank you for asking. Oh, my God. Brianna Drag Queen Slots is in the chat. Welcome her back. She's been around, and she's been a big friend of the channel, and we appreciate her very much. Nice to see you, Brianna. Got to drink that Elixir of the Gods, 7-Up, sugar-free. But it's called zero sugar now. Everything's zero sugar. Nothing's diet anymore. But yeah, I'm going to save that for when it gets cold in the future. Let's see here. Have you ever seen any shows at the Wild Horse? I'm not familiar with the Wild Horse, to be honest with you. Never seen anything there. Wow, we got 200 likes on the channel. That's very nice. And 437 viewers. Very cool. Let's see. Is Vegas liberal or conservative? Wow, Morad. In general, like most big cities, it's more of a left-leaning city when you get into the urban areas. And when you get out on the outskirts, a lot of ranchers, a lot of people who are more leaning towards the red side of things out here. And it used to be a very red state every time we voted. Then it turned purple. Now it's turned blue. Steve D, how far from Vegas are you? Ooh, personal question for Steve D. Let's see here. Zero sugar drinks. They don't taste the same and they're still bad for you, but they're better than drinking a bunch of calories, don't you know? Let's see here. Steve is conservative. You don't know that. I'm down the middle as best as I could possibly be. Let's see here. Great show, but original Cirque at Treasure Island is still the best. That would be Zumanity. So Steve Zwirling says love is great. I'm just a Beatles fan, a huge Beatles fan. I have it on my Google Play Music, and well, they call it YouTube Music nowadays. When Beatles Love reopens, go see it. I sang and danced throughout the whole show. Oh yeah, Linda, absolutely. Did you miss the CES? Well, I mean, I was registered for the digital version of CES. I didn't see much of a a reason to go there because I can watch a synopsis on CNET on YouTube. CNET's a great channel for technology. I can go to Engadget, whatever. Different tech channels. I registered only so next year I can be in the queue for going in real life. I missed that it wasn't here. I wish it were here, but at the same time, it would have been irresponsible to have it here at this point. Let's see here. Love was amazing is what Debbie Love Slot says. Stephen, are all casinos open on the Strip? Yes, everyone is open on the Strip right now, except for the Mirage being closed entirely on the weekdays. The Encore being closed only for the hotel on the weekends. Same with Mandalay Bay, closed on the weekends. And one more that I can't think of if you guys want to add to the chat. Wow, it's been a while. We got 48 minutes into this puppy right here. I wonder if the new administration is going to take away open carry. They can't do that because it's a states' rights issue. If you guys don't know how the government works here, we are a republic of 50 different states, all made up with our own governing bodies. So whatever California says doesn't go in Nevada, and whatever the federal government says generally doesn't go in Nevada either, unless it's a law that's built into the Constitution. So if you're in an open carry state, meaning that you can carry a weapon, and you know, as long as you have a license, then no, it's not going away unless they change the Constitution. That's how the government works. No one is taking your guns. Don't even worry, Nick says. Well, I just explained it. And there you go. Ricky Tiki loves Justin Bieber. Fair enough. He was supposed to perform in February or March. Not going to happen. But there you go. That's my live stream for tonight, guys. I made it to 50 minutes. I wanted to pop in and say hello to all of you guys, my diehards who show up. The new people in the chat before I leave. If you're new in the chat, say yes. I'd like to talk to you. If you're new in the chat, say yes. I'd like to say hello to you as the chats come up here. And, you know, it's just status quo in Las Vegas right now. Not a ton of new things to report on in the news. Robert Banker is new. He says yes. Lynn B says yes. Thank you for watching, Lynn B. DJI Mike says, I have a DJI drone right behind me that somebody sent me. I'll be doing some footage soon. 75 Mike says yes. Cham Traveler says yes. Very nice. Awesome, man. TGM Voyager. If I don't recognize your name, maybe you're new too. TGM Voyager is new. Bing, bing, bing. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Let's see here. I got a feeling. Lasina says. Kevin Berg wants me to wait. I love the Snow in Vegas video. If you guys haven't seen it, go to my main channel. Just click on my circular round channel logo and go watch that video. You might like it. We toured around Vegas, started on the Strip, went west. Oh yes, nice hat, Golden Knights. Absolutely. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. If you're new and I shouted your name out, consider subscribing. We do live streams. Gotta get back on our regular schedule of Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturday nights. Maybe a hidden one in there, so hit the bell for notifications. We do videos on a constant basis on the channel whenever I can come up with a video idea. I used to do them every single day. But thank you. Namaste says yes, yes. Consider subscribing, hitting the bell for the notifications. If you're really a super fan, check out the Patreon. It's patreon.com/not leaving Las Vegas, or the channel memberships. It's down by the subscribe button, or just go over Make the Wife Smile, VegasFaceMask.com. It's got this bead on the back. You put it around the back of your head just like this. This is called Black Mosaic, but we have 60 different types. And then that way it's not making you have those ears, those Dumbo ears. And you can put it under a winter hat, and they work really, really well. And they're super lightweight, 100% cotton, very breathable. And we do custom orders for you guys. She makes everything by hand. And there you go. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Irwin Jackson. I appreciate you very much. Toodles, everybody, as Nick Q would say. We're going to go in 3, 2, 1, click. How do I stop my video? I don't even know how to do that. Here's the end stream button. 3, 2, 1, and thank you, DB Dad. You're keeping me sane.